go further in this regard. And now the journal is ready with 12 articles, research articles from various experts in ODL system. Our own mentor and Professor, former Vice Chancellor, Professor V.S. Prasad Garu contributed 2 articles for this. 4 decades of India's first open university and roadmap to sustainable higher education. And Asha Kanwarji on education and employment, and Rajan Velukakaru and Panduranga Narasimha Rao and Satish Rastogi, and also internal members like myself and Kankanika Lakshmi and she connected to this. Hello. Manasi, you joined? Srinivas Rao garu.
Indeed. Join again.
Okay. Welcome to the meeting.
Thank you.
This 12 articles, to put it in format, and then we are highly indebted to Professor Murli Manohar sir. Is kind enough to go through all the script and make necessary changes, which we have incorporated. And Kanak Durga put much efforts in carrying out all the corrections and all, and Julie acknowledged her efforts in this. And there are some typo errors still. I think Lakshmi also pointed out like very few typos errors are there. And we have made put it in format also, in journal format, and practice is still working. So within 1 or 2 days, I think entire draft, this is a draft which is in front of you. Sir is having it, and I'll circulate one more. And editorial column with Manasi joined. Welcome to you, Manasji, to this meeting, editorial meeting.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Please welcome to this meeting, editorial meeting. Our Vice Chancellor, Professor Sitaram Rao Garu is there, and all the editorial members are there. With this, Vice Chancellors, there are 2 important things which I would like to put in before Vice Chancellor. Editorial board, which he has recently changed. After that, this is the first meeting we are conducting, and as per suggestion of our Vice Chancellor, we didn't call the advisory committee meeting because this journal, only editorial board members will meet today to finalize the journal. I'll just read out for the sake of the members, the advisory board members also. Professor V.S. Prasad Garu, Professor V. Venkaya Garu, Professor Ami Upadhyay, Professor E. Vainandan, Professor Pankaj Mittal, Professor Sanjay Mishra. They're all the advisory board members, and the editorial board members are editor-in-chief is Professor K. Murli Manohar sir. And that time I was there in CHTD, executive editor, Professor Sudharani. Now we have changed it. Whoever be the GRC the director, they'll become the executive editor. Associate editors are Kanak Durga, Lakshmi, and Ravindranath. And the members of the editorial boards are Professor G. Chakrapani, Director Academic, Professor Manas Ranjan Panigrahi, Symbiosis Pune, Professor K. Kusunama Swami Rao, former Rector and Professor Mathematics, and Professor T. Srinivas Rao, Professor C. Pushpa Ramakrishna Garu, former Director Academic and Professor in English. So this is precisely the board. And once again, welcome you to the meeting. I request our Vice Chancellor to chair the session and conduct the proceedings. And before that, earlier we didn't keep chief pattern and pattern. Is it okay to keep it now? This is for the board to decide. And but advisory member, I think Vice Chancellor will chair. But here it is written Professor V.S. Prasad Garu by VC sir in the file. So. Sorry, darling. I think sir, sir, V.S. Prasad. ఫైల్ లో మీరు రాశారు సార్
అడ్వైజరీ బోర్డు
ఇప్పుడు
అడ్వైజరీ బోర్డు రెండు ఉన్నాయి. ఆ డోర్ పెట్టేసి అది ఇంగ్లీష్ పెట్టలా సార్ చెప్పాలి.
మీరే చైర్మన్.
ఎయిటోల్ బోర్డు
ఏదో ఒక బోర్డు అనుకుంటే రిజిస్ట్రార్ ని సడన్ గా ప్యాటర్న్ అన్నారు. రిజిస్ట్రార్ కెనాట్ బి
జస్ట్ ఫర్ ద సేక్ ఆఫ్ ఓన్లీ.
ఒక పని చేయండి, అడ్వైజరీ బోర్డుకు చైర్మన్ వీసీని పెట్టేసి ఎయిటోల్ బోర్డు యాజ్ ఇట్ గా ఉండని
తీసేసి
ఓకే
అడ్వైజరీ బోర్డు మెంబర్
ప్యాటర్న్స్ తీసేయండి సార్. కరెక్ట్. అంతే కాదు మేడం, ఈ రెండు మీద ఉన్న ఇద్దరు ప్యాటర్న్స్ చీఫ్ సరే పర్వాలేదు, ఇది డిలీట్.
కింద విఎస్ ప్రసాద్ గారు చైర్మన్ అన్నారు కదా, అక్కడ పేరు ఉండాలి సార్.
ఓకే.
అడ్వైజరీ బోర్డులో
అడ్వైజరీ బోర్డు మెంబర్స్ ఉండి చైర్మన్ వీసీ చేయండి, తర్వాత మిగతా వాళ్ళంతా మెంబర్స్ ఉంటారు. రైట్.
ఒకటి చేంజ్ మీరు బోర్డ్
మంచిది ఆడుకుంటారే ఉన్న గట్లే దానికి.
ఈ రోజు మీటింగ్ అయితే వద్దాను,
ఈ రోజు వద్దాను. ఓన్లీ పబ్లికేషన్ పోతున్నాం కాబట్టి అడ్వైజరీ బోర్డు అక్కర్లేదు. అడ్వైజరీ బోర్డు ఏడాదికి ఒకసారో ఏడాదికి 2 సార్లు వెన్ ఎవర్ నెసరీ పెట్టండి. నాగరే తర్వాత ఇక ఎయిటోల్ బోర్డు మాత్రం ఫ్రీక్వెంట్ గా కలవాలి, అది ఫంక్షనల్ కదా.
ఇప్పుడు ఈ రోజు డిగ్రీ చేద్దాం. నెక్స్ట్ జర్నల్ ఇవన్నీ కూడా మీరు సరే
ఇది అయిపోయిందా
సార్?
Good morning to you all. Honorable members of the Editorial Board, Editor-in-Chief, Professor K. Murali Manohar, respected teacher of mine, and also Editorial Board members, Professor Chakramani, Professor Pushparamakrishna Madam, Professor Sudharani, Executive Editor, Kanaka Durga, Lakshmi, Ravindra Solomon, and members who joined in the meeting through Zoom, Professor Manas Ranjan Panigrahi, Professor Srinivas Rao from Warangal, and I welcome you all once again to this editorial board meeting. We are going to finalize the publication of the another volume of our Journal of Open Distance Learning. In 2016, after revival of the journal, this is not first issue, I think it is revived. Already earlier we have published the journal.
First issue has been published, sir. Second issue we are publishing now.
Oh, it's all right. Earlier we have university has published this journal, I think. But for various reasons, it did not continue. Again, we have revived in 2016.
Second issues we have.
After even revival also, no continuity. Now again, we have re-revived it second time. So I hope this will continue. It is biannual. That is the reason we know very well that getting some good research journals, research articles, is also difficult nowadays. But even then, at least if we publish this journal twice in a year, I think we can somehow pursue the teachers and scholars working in distance education in different universities. Since we have good network with teachers, we can also, the reason behind having Professor Murali Manohar as editor-in-chief is the network of IDEA Association. So there are so many members are there, the Indian Distance Education Association. We can also take their help and pursue them to write something about the distance education, mainly system-based research, based on system-based research. In that way, we can continue the journal and we can continue the publication at least twice a year. This process should be continued. So earlier we also, I think in the GRCRD Advisory Committee meeting, we have taken many decisions also. One, and the same journal will be in the online mode also. I don't know what is going on about that. The same matter for which are physical copies can also be made online, available to all. If anybody wanted to go through online, they can also take. And let us make it a OER resource. And it will open to all, they can download, use whatever they want. And one more aspect is we thought of starting a journal, in-house journal again, a common research journal for all domain-specific subjects. Multidisciplinary. For science, arts, can have 3 or 4 sections: management and commerce, social sciences, arts and languages and all. So, if necessary, we can also go for bilingual. If anybody wanted to publish articles in Telugu, let us encourage, either in social science or arts. But somehow, this should also be continued. And that is also a biannual. And we thought of making it first through online journal. If necessary, we make or print the physical copies. So, along with this, as early as possible, it is better to start a research journal, which mainly concentrates and focuses on the other interdisciplinary subjects and also various other programs which we are offering in different subjects: sciences, social sciences, arts, and literature, commerce, and management, education also. So that also need to be done in continuation of this effort. So I'm very happy once again we are bringing out this journal JODL, and we also continue our academic efforts to bring out the other journal also. With this brief introduction, I request the members to tell their opinions and also approve the publication of this journal of January-June 23 of JODL. Thank you very much for attending the meeting. Thank you once again. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I request Director to.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Sudharani. I congratulate you for reinitiating the publication of our official journal, BRAOU Journal of Open and Distant Learning. I really appreciate the efforts of Ram Reddy Academy of Institute of Distance Education Research. And I welcome Murali Manohar sir. Murali Manohar sir is a pioneer of distance education and education publication, research and publication in India. We associated with him for the last 30 years since he started IDEA at Kakatiya University. And also our other friends also joined here. I welcome all of them. From this time onwards, I think we must bring this on a very regular basis. Every 6 months, we must bring this journal. This is very important. It is going to be a very important platform for research and reflections of our friends in distance education. I think we have to go for registration, proper registration immediately. Without any registration, we cannot run journal for a very long period. So that process we have to continue. Once it is registered, again we have to go for ISSN recognition also by submitting these 2 volumes, and 2016 volume and present volume. And that process we have to take up immediately from our side. That is one. And the second issue is, the journal definitely, I'm looking at the contents. It is widely covered, different aspects are covered over here. Still, I think, we have to write to other distance education institutions and open universities, informing the journal and its status. I mean, we have to invite articles from different parts of the country also. I wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Chakraparni Garu, Director. And there is 2 important issues. Already after 2 issues only, ISSN will be taken up, and registration immediately will go forward for that, and write to other university ODL institutions, such as universities, for contribution of the articles and research journals. Thank you so much for your valuable inputs, and I request our Editor-in-Chief, Professor Murli Manohar Garu, for his comments. Okay. I request Madam Pushpa Ramakrishna Garu, please.
Respected Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Murli Manohar, Professor Ganta Chakraparni, Professor Sudharani, and members, my colleagues. I'm very glad to be associated with this committee, with this board. And I congratulate what do you say, that the grade? Yes, yeah, it's something more now for having brought out this journal once again, or revived the journal again, because I think it's important to not only to be doing something which is innovative, which brings a change in the field in distance education, open distance education. It is also important to record that change. It is important to share it, to tell other institutions about what we are doing. And in that respect, I'm sure that this journal will be a major contribution. I noticed that there are, as Professor Chakraparni said, it has a wide range of articles, and I'm sure that whoever reads it will definitely benefit from it. I'm glad that Professor Murli Manohar is associated with it, because he brings his rich experience of distance education to it, distance education and research in distance education to it. And, the younger colleagues who have contributed to it, I congratulate them also. So all the best to all of you. I hope you will be able to bring it out biannually, and also invite articles from other institutions.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Honestly.
Manasji. Hello, Professor Manas, please give us the comment.
Thank you very much, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Sitaram Rao, and Editor-in-Chief of the journal, Professor Murli Manohar, and Professor Sudharani, and Professor Chakraparni. I am and all other colleagues available here, and Professor T. Srinivas Rao also joined us virtually. Thank you very much, first of all, inviting me to this meeting as well. I'm always happy and glad whenever joining with Professor Sitaram Rao, and we have very close heart-to-heart touch, and his blessings always helping me a lot in my career. And I really happy to see that revamping of the journal, which is started long back, and bringing into the with new shape, new flavor under the able leadership of Professor Sitaram Rao and able great researcher Professor Murli Manohar. And I'm really happy to see and congratulate all of us, because I have already included into that journal. So for all of us, it's a great moment today. And I have a few concerns with regard to the journal, particularly research journal is concerned. And with special reference to open and distance learning, which is, if we will reflect towards the National Education Policy 2020, really envisaged and giving more stress on research, and particularly online and blended learning, as well as open and distance learning. So now in 21st century, the research is more key aspects and need to promote to our young researchers more and more, and encouraging their publications and recognizing their work through this journal. That is one aspect which can be definitely B.R. Ambedkar University through this journal, it will be catered. Another one is we can make it in a speedy process of review of the articles. Particularly, I can propose 3 levels of review of the articles, and 3 parallel vertical of the review of the articles, I can say. Some articles can be decided at the level of chief editor and editorial board to be published. Some articles need to be sent to the experts, those who are working in that particular expertise area for review. And some of the very eminent professors, those who are, and researchers, those who are working in this field, their article editor-in-chief can be recommended for the publication without even peer review. So why I am talking all these things, it will create a cohesiveness and encouragement to the all researchers when we will mix with the young researchers article along with experienced researchers article, so that the platform will be encouraged to our young researchers, particularly to motivate them towards our journal and create the interest amongst our journal. This is one aspect with regard to the selection of the articles. Another one is how we can improve index level of our articles. Our team need to think differently and register in different platforms for the indexing purpose. As well as Professor Rao rightly said that we can make it OER itself reach will be high. So people will be more encouraged towards the articles and use of articles and fair use of articles, which has been published. So this is second one. Third one is frequently the editorial board need to meet time to time, and maybe after 2 cycle of publication can meet once, so that learn about what strategies need to be prepared for future course of action on the basis of what we learned in last 2 issues which has been published. So these are the few concerns which is I am taking up, and hope my colleagues will be agree with me, and more suggestions I am always happy to receive, and guidance happy to receive. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Professor Manas, for your highly valuable suggestions. One with referencing the focus on national education policy and online and blended learning. Just now, before the starting of the meeting, I was discussing with our editor-in-chief, Professor Murli Manohar sir, and we thought of bringing one special issue annually on focusing on the theme. To begin with, we thought of bringing one special issue on national education policy. And this definitely will take us to the more focused research on one particular area by different intellectuals who are working on this area. And the second suggestion is highly valuable, sending for the review 3 vertical parallel reviews, an editor and other experts and in this field. So this will give us a highly authenticated and a kind of research oriented and bring more quality into the articles and which are going to be published. And the third is improve the index level of journal registration. This definitely we'll follow it and registering different platforms and mostly going OER, like open source, so that it will reach various persons. And encouraging our younger research scholars is also one of our aspects which we thought about. That's the reason, focusing on annually one special focus on one area, so that we can extend to the general research scholars too. So thank you so much for this valuable suggestions. Now I request Solomon. Srinivas Rao sir, sorry. Srinivas sir, in spite of your busy schedule, you are talking about in the absence of Vice Chancellor there. So thank you for joining and please give your suggestions for this. Okay. Meanwhile, we'll take a call from other members. Solomon, I'll call.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Sitaramana sir, Director Academic, and Professor Murli Manohar Joshi, Ma'am Pushpa Chakrapani, and all my other colleagues. When I was just going through the journals that have been received for publication in this issue, I was actually very impressed with the wide spectrum of publications that we have received. I happen to remember and recollect the words of Professor V.S. Prasad. When initially I joined this university, he was talking about Dr. BRAOU being the first open university. That is undisputed. Nobody can dispute the fact that we are the first open university. But what is disputable is, are we the best open university? Being first, nobody can change, but being best is in our hands. So that has been the inspiration for the center, that is GRDRC. And I'm glad that the subsequent journals, the articles that have been received for publication are from the stalwarts in research education, like Dr. Pankaj Mittal, Professor V.S. Prasad, and the other eminent persons like Professor Asha Kanwar and all. Now, the foundation lecture given in the year 2022 by Dr. Pankaj Mittal was very beautifully assembled and put as a part of this journal, which is very commendable. And Professor Prasad was also talking about the new normal being opened because of COVID. And our open university, or rather the open universities in the country, have got now a new and immense opportunity to expand their horizons. And in this article that he has written, India's first open university, which is in transition, he is talking about how to take advantage of the vast opportunities that are thrown open by the new normal. So that is an exceptional article. And Dr. Kankadurga talks about outcome-based education, because the national education policy is all focusing on outcome. What is the learning outcome of the student? So she has beautifully projected the outcome-based education in the ODL system. And Madam Sudharani is talking about the research and development, because if you do not do research, then you cannot move forward. Research will tell you the areas of lacunae. they'll tell you the areas of improvement. And in this paper on the role of GRC in research and development, Madam has put the roadmap for the research center. And stakeholders are the core of distance education. And the feedback survey on the curriculum design from the stakeholders is very, very impressive, because without feedback, we will not be able to judge and gauge whether we are moving in the right direction or not. So this kind of feedback survey also has been collected and put in the form of a paper. And open educational resources and ODL, because open educational resources, they tell us to pick up the threads from where they are left. Instead of doing something over and over again, we can take the ideas that have been already projected forward. And this has been recorded by Dr. V.V. Kankadurga, where she has talked about reinventing the open education resources and imbibing ODL in it. And the other articles are also, one article that is very appealing to me is the article by Professor Rajan M. Velukar, because he is the Vice Chancellor of Atlas Skill University. That is the only skill university in the country which purely and completely is a skill-oriented university. So how does this skill-oriented university operate through distance education was beautifully projected by Professor Rajan Velukar, and also the other different articles, which are really a wide spectrum of articles. So I congratulate the GRADE Research Center and also all the editorial board members for compiling such a beautiful journal. And I thank you all for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Solomon, for very, in a nutshell, introducing all the research articles, very beautifully putting in perspective also. Thank you so much for your effort in bringing this also. I congratulate you for being the editorial member, and I request Lakshmi to have a few words.
Good morning, everyone. Esteemed Vice Chancellor Professor Sitaram Rao Garu, and Editor-in-Chief Professor Murali Manohar Garu, Director Academic Professor Ganda Chakrapani, Madam Pushpa Ramakrishna Madam, and Director GRCR. Even I'm not used to, anyway, Director Grade. Professor Sudharani Madam, and my dear colleagues, Kankadurga and Solomon Garu, and even Computer Center Express Jeevan for his assistant. I'm really glad. I am also happy that I also express my gratitude to Madam for making me a part of this esteemed journal as an associate editor. And of course, expert for typological errors, but I don't think I'm competent enough to comment on such stalwarts or a giant of a scholars in ODL systems. Most of them, especially Asha Kanwar and Rajan Velukar and all experts. But all said and done, I'm also glad that in the very revival journal, the next issue, whatever it is, such including the names of stalwarts really enhances the quality of this journal. And it takes this into a particular level when it goes online, like Sir said. And I'm also glad that we are able to rope in all those articles in this. And one particular article which I also like to, he said, Velukar's article. In this particular, of course, I attended this lecture, and this article, I was part of this editing of this article also. He was talking about making small packages and giving everything in small packages. This is what appealed to me. I think we can call for papers from all our departments, from small articles, like one feedback article from the program evaluation or program assessment. Each department, they have their own. Right now, we are in the NAC process. Each one, we have got our own profiles. We have got our own details of what enrollment, assessment, how many have appeared and all that. So each department head of the department or anyone from the department can be asked to give a small table, like an analysis of this 5 years. What was the enrollment? What was the statistics of male, female, the dropouts or whatever it is. And they can give me small articles instead of very long or empirical based article. System based articles from each department can be called for. I think this can be a quick way of making the journal, bringing us another volume of the journal. This is my opinion. I don't know how far it will be successful, but all the all departments should be encouraged to make a program evaluation of each and every department at micro level. Have enrolled, appeared, and passed. Percentage of gender and gender-wise or category-wise. That will be updating also for the next NAC cycle also. So with these few words, I thank each and every one of you for making me again about this. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Lakshmi, for the suggestions. This feedback and micro-level studies, GRCRD encourages this kind of studies also, system-based studies, through projects, the minor projects and macro. Academics are free to take up this, and we welcome any suggestions, any proposal in this regard. So that will be a part of our reach out and scope for improvement also. So thank you for the suggestions. So, anything to add, Kanka-Durga?
A very good morning to all the members who have assembled here. Good morning, sir. I think we have covered a number of articles, but at the same time, as our editor-in-chief was saying, he was saying we would require some more interesting articles. Due to some lack of time, we were not able to reach out to many members, academic members. So this time, I think we'll take proper precaution and send the intimation prior. And also, what I would like to say is there is this thought of making this journal online and getting a research journal in print form. So these modalities also should be discussed in detail, I think. And at the same time, I think as Manas Ranjan was saying, even for starting the journal, we are planning, Madam was planning for a complete board meeting with all the advisory board members. So maybe we'll take the sessions at that point of time. And also, sir, I think having so many academicians in our own university, I think it's time we had a meeting, an informal meeting, and also get suggestions from them regarding their field of expertise in what way they would contribute to the journal or generally to JRCR. And with these few words, I would like to say thank you.
Thank you, Durga. Thank you, sir. Please, Murli Manohar sir, to his valuable comments on this regard.
Thank you, Professor Sudharani. Vice Chancellor, Professor Sitaram Rao, Professor Chakrapani, Sudharani, Professor Pushpa Chakrapani, Professor Manas, Dr. Salman, Professor Srinivas Rao, and other friends present here. At the outset, I should thank the Vice Chancellor and also the other authorities of the university for reposing confidence in me and making me as editor-in-chief of the journal. And actually, I was working in this university for some time, and I know most of the teachers here. And when I was here, actually, I proposed the university to publish a journal. And they were, at that time, the Vice Chancellor agreed to publish the journal, but I don't know what has happened later. They could not do it. As you know that I was at Kakatiya University for a long time as Director of Distance Education, School of Distance Learning and Distance Education. And we have published a journal called Kakatiya Distance Education for about 12 years continuously. And we used to have a lot of subscribers and around 90 foreign subscribers and around 700 Indian subscribers. And we published the journal regularly. It was a quarterly journal, but we could bring about 42 journals in 12 years. That was done. But later on, we could not continue because of several reasons, as you know. Because of non-cooperation from the university administration and also from the faculty members of the university, we could not continue there. So whatever may be the reason, conducting a research project and also publishing a journal, both are very difficult propositions. Because when we go to field to collect data and also prepare a report based on the data, we do not know the outcome, what will happen, whether it will impact its quality or not, we do not know. At the same time, when we start publishing a journal, again the question arises whether the readers will satisfy with the content that is being produced in the journal or not. But we should have a policy. As you know, that this journal has a policy. And the policy statement clearly says that it will encourage youngsters working in different universities to conduct research and also publish papers, so that the papers published in this journal will reach everybody and it can improve the distance education system. And my experience as editor of Kakatiya Journal of Distance Education is that it is very difficult to get the articles, especially empirical articles, articles based on field research. Unlike the research in social sciences, research in distance education is very difficult. Because we have published about 42 issues, we hardly could get around 5% of articles based on empirical research. And I would like to bring it to your notice about a study which we have conducted, review of research in distance education. So we have reviewed the research in distance education for about 20 years in India. And we have collected all the articles from various sources and analyzed how, who are the researchers actually, their background, and what are the areas they have covered, and at the same time, what are the reviews the readers made on the performance of the journal. So the study says that about 5% of the researchers are drawn from open universities. This is really shocking. Only 5% of the researchers are drawn from the open universities, and the remaining 95% are from outside the open university system. That means open universities are lagging behind in conducting research studies. And the reason I found was most of the teachers working in open universities, they conduct research in their own specific disciplines, their own disciplines, not on open university system or distance education. That is the main problem the research in distance education is facing. And as you know that in India, if you can examine, recently I think I have conducted a study for the Open University also when I was here as an advisor. We have analyzed the websites of various open universities and also some of the distance education directors. So they have given information whether about the publication, their own publication, and also the research they have conducted. And the study says that out of several open universities, only one university publishing a journal. And out of around 120 distance education directors in the country, only 2 directors are publishing journals on distance education. This is again really shocking. Unlike in other universities all over the world, you can find every university publishes a journal. Most of the open universities in the world, they publish their own journals. Not only the journals, but also they have in-house magazines also. I think Open University also publishes a newsletter. And when I was here in the Open Universities, there used to be a research and evaluation wing. And that wing used to conduct a number of studies, evaluation studies, feedback studies, and they also published those studies. And these publications should have been brought out even in the form of a journal, as articles in the journals. They can still do it. If grade is conducting such studies, feedback studies, we can include them in the journal. So, as the editor-in-chief of this journal, I have actually some suggestions to make. Because this journal, actually, we have not received many articles from different writers. Whatever is available, we have put them together in this journal. This is the main limitation of this journal. But from next time onwards, I think we should have some invited articles so that definitely we will have some number to be published in the journal. And at the same time, there should be at least 2 empirical articles because field level evaluation will be very useful for improving the Open University system. So we can have 2 empirical research-based papers and 2 invited articles. And at the same time, we can also have a number of reviews, review articles on books published or on other studies published, or project reports, or even the reports of commissions and committees. Those things also we can include. And at the same time, we can also have some evaluation studies so that these studies, evaluation studies conducted by different universities for their own use, this can be done. So in that way, I think we can have a number of articles in each journal. That is one suggestion. And the second suggestion is that the university faculty can contribute at least 2 articles from the faculty of the university. We can request the members of this university to at least contribute 2 articles. So that is also one of the suggestions I would like to make. And at the same time, the problem, we could not continue this journal because long back we have published the first journal. It's 2016, and I think almost 4 years been gone. The problem was we are not able to get the ISSN number. I don't know what they take their own time. We have fulfilled, I think, all the formalities, but still they did not. I think Professor Pushpa Chakrapani, she has taken a lot of trouble to continuously contact them and send whatever papers they want. But I don't know what happened later. They took their own time. Even she has contacted some friends in Delhi to pursue the matter, but still I don't know what has happened. But later on, we could find that we have to submit 2 issues. 2 issues. But they did not say at all. In the beginning, they did not say about anything. But later on, I think now we'll be able to get the ISSN number. And this is one of the important prerequisites for running a journal. So these, I would like to thank all the members present here and also the Vice Chancellor.
Sir, request from us, please suggest us on the review part of it, the line review or the page review, as Manas suggested, 3 vertical reviews, or what do you feel regarding the review of the articles?
Yeah.
We can to have peer review.
Yeah, we can have it.
He said the 3 or 2 levels. One is at our level, and
yeah.
Some of the areas are which are not.
Review, I think, is a good.
Line review.
No, we have it. But
because you will be, if you register and look for IS.
Mention that this journal is peer review.
Yes.
Otherwise, there is no value.
Exactly.
Yes.
So internal review is
not sufficient.
Not sufficient.
Yes.
It is always better to
not
identify and
blind
approved panel of reviewers.
We
I request R&D director to suggest a panel.
We can have a list of
institutions,
reviewers, and each and every article we must send it to reviewing panel. Only approval of that reviewing panel, whether it is 2 or 1, that is up to you.
For invited articles, there will not be any.
Invited articles not necessary.
No need of. But in general, we must also mention that this journal is a peer review. This is peer reviewed journal. Review process also we have to mention somewhere in the journal.
Exactly.
And
editorial
policy law, we have to mention that this is the procedure to submit, and this is the procedure to edit. I mean, review and tax. But I mentioned says then
authenticity.
Yes, sir.
Where is our very good. Guidelines for the publication.
Review process and Rashi. The peer reviewed
peer review has been mentioned. All contributions submitted will be subjected to blind review and RASM.
That follow.
National International Journals. Well, ikkade rastunnam peer reviewed journal.
Frontliners.
Back page
mention చేయాలి.
ఇంకొకటి ఇప్పుడు సార్ అన్న పాయింట్ సార్, ఇప్పుడు మన ఐఎస్ఎస్ఆర్ నెంబర్ రాకపోవడం కారణం ఈ మన వాళ్ళ ఫార్మాట్ లో నింపడంలో కొంత మిస్టేక్.
డాక్యుమెంటేషన్
వినండి వీళ్ళు ఏం చేసిందంటే ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ మేడం ఈ ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ మెజిస్ట్రేట్ తోటి సంతకం పెట్టించింది, ఎంఆర్ఓ తోటే ఎవరితో. అది నడవలేదు సార్. కమిషనర్
రైల్వే రైల్వేస్ లో
ఒక మెజిస్ట్రేట్ అది తప్పిపోయింది సార్. అక్కడ వాళ్ళు ఏమన్నారు, జ్యుడిషియల్ మెజిస్ట్రేట్ ఉండాలి.
ఆయన జ్యుడిషియల్ మెజిస్ట్రేటే ఆ టైంలో ఆ రైల్వే కోర్ట్ లో ఉన్నాడు. అంతే, రైల్వే కోర్ట్ ఉంది కదా, రైల్వే కోర్ట్ ఉంటుంది.
ఆ రైల్వే కోర్ట్ అన్నారకే మరి వాడు ఆ స్టాంప్ చూసేది కాదన్నది మొత్తం.
అది
మనకేమో మన జ్యూరిడిక్షన్, మన యూనివర్సిటీ ఉన్న జ్యూరిడిక్షన్ లో ఉన్న
పోలీస్ కమిషనర్
వాళ్ళకి ఐపీఎస్ ఐఏఎస్ అయితే ఓకే అంటారు.
అదే
అక్కడ అట్లా ఉన్నారు.
అది మనం ఈ మధ్యలో మళ్ళీ దాన్ని ఒకసారి కరెక్ట్ గా చూసుకొని కమిషనర్ కావాలన్నా లేకపోతే మరి జ్యుడిషియల్ మెజిస్ట్రేట్ కావాలన్నా, ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ మెజిస్ట్రేటా జ్యుడిషియల్ మెజిస్ట్రేట్ కరెక్ట్ గా మనం తెలుసుకొని చేస్తే అవుతుంది. ఎందుకంటే మనకు పద్ధతి ఉన్నది ఇప్పుడు కూడా ఉండదు వచ్చింది కాబట్టి.
Sir, I have a concern over all this. Being a person from the discipline English, I think we need to get the language done very carefully. Because if you look at the published book, the first volume, even there, and that has come in the heading, it's a glaring mistake. And I think we will come up for criticism if we don't do that. If you look at page number, this is the first article by Professor V.S. Prasad. And in the heading, multi-point entry and exist, it says. It should be exit. No, something like that. We cannot allow it to pass.
And moreover, university journal. I mean, it is not a private or somebody is running.
Exist.
Typographical error.
Lot of small things. They are small, but they will have a bigger impact. Apart from the fact that what Professor Murali Mohan has said, we need to have empirical articles, and there should be rigor in the empirical
research
studies. We cannot have people just listing out things and saying this is a qualitative study. That is not sufficient. If we have somebody doing a quantitative study, it should have the rigor of a quantitative. We can look at other things. If I'm not able to do it, I don't write such an article at all. Only if I can write it, I should write it. That's what I mean.
I'll agree. I do agree with the suggestion. Journal composition, we must keep few articles.
Different kinds.
And 3 must be, from empirical studies. And, at least 1 or 2 from institutional framework. Atla pettukovali. Lekapothe routine, endukante idi 5 years nenu sociologist journal nadipichinu. Time ki manam em chestunante manaku telisina that is generally happen. Adi dinlo kuda man baitallo telugulo maatladutunte 3 lectures స్వయంగా ఆర్టికల్ జర్నల్ కోసం రాయించడం అనేది దట్ ఈస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. అండ్ ఒక టెక్స్ట్ ఒకటి మాట్లాడిన టెక్స్ట్ ఈస్ డిఫరెంట్ అండ్ రీసెర్చ్ జర్నల్ ఈస్ డిఫరెంట్. రీసెర్చ్ జర్నల్ కి సర్టన్ ప్రిన్సిపల్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఇది ఉంటేనే రీసెర్చ్ జర్నల్. ఆ లెక్కన కనుక మనం పోతే దానిలో జర్నల్స్ లో ఆర్టికల్స్ లేవు. సో ఫ్యూచర్ లో ఎందుకంటే ఎక్కువ కాలం సస్టైన్ అవ్వాలన్నా రికగ్నైజ్ అవ్వాలన్నా ఆ జర్నల్ క్వాలిటీ ఈజ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఆ జర్నల్ క్వాలిటీలో జర్నల్ ని ఎట్లా కూర్చున్నాం అనేది దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఆర్టికల్స్ రీసెర్చ్ స్టడీస్ ఉన్నాయా, సర్వే రిపోర్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయా, ఎంపిరికల్ అనాలిసిస్ ఉందా, పాలసీ అనాలిసిస్ ఉందా, ఏదైనా పర్స్పెక్టివ్ ఇచ్చే ఆర్టికల్స్ ఉన్నాయా, ఇవన్నీ కూడా డెఫినెట్ గా మ్యాటర్స్. అన్లెస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ స్పెషల్ ఇష్యూ. స్పెషల్ ఇష్యూ అంటేనే ఒకటే ఫోకస్. బట్ జనరల్ ఆర్టికల్స్ ఇవన్నీ ఉండాలి. సాధారణంగా బుక్ రివ్యూస్ అట్లీస్ట్ 1 or 2 బుక్ రివ్యూస్ ఉండాలి. Even policy papers as it is published, but all any report is there and you can directly publish that. ఇది కొంత ఈ జాగ్రత్తగా తీసుకుంటే ఎక్కువ కాలం జర్నల్ సస్టైన్ అవడానికి, షార్ట్ పీరియడ్ లో దాని రికగ్నిషన్ రావడానికి కూడా అవకాశం.
Thank you. Actually, in this
another important issue is cover page లేదా ఓవరాల్ గా జర్నల్ మేకప్ కి ఒక ఫార్మాట్ పెట్టుకో. That format should continue. అది చూడగానే ఇది ODL అని గుర్తున్నాను, జర్నల్ అని. అంటే ఒకటే టైప్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ఇండియా సోషలాజికల్ సొసైటీ జర్నల్స్ ఉంటాయి, ఒకటే ప్యాటర్న్ ఉంటుంది. అది మారుతుంటది అంతే కదా. ఒకసారి కలర్స్ ఏమన్నా చేంజ్ అవుతాయి కానీ ఓవరాల్ జర్నల్ డిజైన్ ఒకటే. సో అట్లేదన్నా ఒక ఫార్మాట్ అనుకో.
I think this is okay. The font size also seems to be ఇది కలర్ కూడా ఇదే పెడుతున్నా సార్.
కవర్ పేజ్ కలర్స్ మారుతుంటాయి కదా మనకి. ఇయర్లీ రెండే కదా,
కన్ఫ్యూజన్ కూడా ఉండదు. సేమ్ కలర్ అయితే కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఉంటుంది.
కలర్ మార్చండి, చేంజ్ ద కలర్ అండ్ చేంజ్ దిస్ పార్ట్, only the red part.
Thank you so much for valuable suggestion, because we are also in the beginning stage. We don't know what to do, but more or less we followed the same, sir. 2 book reviews and empirical work.
నేను సార్ పంపాను మన ఆన్లైన్ దీని మీద సైకాలజీ స్టూడెంట్స్ మీద ఒక ఎంపిరికల్ స్టడీ చేసినాం. సైకాలజీ అది పంపించాను. అండ్ దట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఆర్టికల్స్ మన సిస్టమ్ లో వాట్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్
చెప్పిన చేయాలి, చేస్తే చాలా ఉపయోగం ఉంటుంది. కన్వర్ట్ చేయొచ్చు వాటిని.
సార్ ఇది ఒకటి ఉంది సార్, మంది ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ సర్వే ఆన్ కరిక్యులం ట్రాన్సాక్షన్ BRAOU. ఇది గుడ్ అండ్ మసూదన్ వాళ్ళు చేసి మనం దీంట్లో తీసుకుంటాం. మన
వేరే
దాని ఆర్టికల్ రిపోర్ట్ పబ్లిష్
ఆర్టికల్
డోంట్ టేక్ ఇట్ పర్సనలీ, ఎందుకంటే అదర్వైజ్ you cannot survive in the field of publication.
This ఒక ఆపద్ధర్మంగా తీసుకురావడం ఏంది.
ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ
అదేంటంటే మనం బిఫోర్ ఇదే విజిట్ కన్నా ముందని
పేజ్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ పేజెస్ కూడా రిస్ట్రిక్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి.
ఇది కరెక్ట్.
ఒక రిపోర్ట్ 30 పేజీలు ఉంది, ఇంకో ఆర్టికల్ 5 పేజీలు ఉంది. అట్లా కాకుండా మినిమం అండ్ మాక్సిమం సార్ వర్డ్ కౌంట్ ఉంటుంది సార్ ఎనీ జర్నల్ వర్డ్ కౌంట్. అన్లెస్ స్పెషల్ రిపోర్ట్ అయితే కూడా హౌ మెనీ వర్డ్స్ అనేది సేమ్ టేబుల్స్ ని సేమ్ వీటిని మనం యూజ్ చేసి పెట్టడం అనేది కూడా అన్ఫేర్. దాన్ని సమరైజ్ చేసి జర్నల్ కావాల్సిన ఆర్టికల్ రూపంలో కన్వర్ట్ చేసుకోవడం
ఇంకోటి ఏమైందంటే ఫీచర్స్ ఆల్సో సెవరల్ టైమ్స్ ఫస్ట్ పర్సన్ లో ఉంటాయి, అది చేంజ్ చేసి సో మెనీ ఎడిటింగ్స్.
అందుకే మనం దానికి లాంగ్వేజ్ ఎడిటింగ్ అనేది ముఖ్యంగా ఇండియన్ కాంటెక్స్ట్ లో మన లింగ్విస్టిక్
ఇంగ్లీష్
ఫస్ట్ లాంగ్వేజ్ ఎడిటింగ్ కావాలి. ఫస్ట్ అయితే నిజానికి కొన్ని జర్నల్స్ లో ఫస్ట్ లాంగ్వేజ్ స్క్రీనింగ్ పంపిస్తారు, ఎందుకంటే కంటెంట్ రైటర్ ప్రాబ్లం రావడం. ఇది అయిపోయిన తర్వాత కంటెంట్ రైటర్.
And the final part is now how to print, because the print person Kishore is not keeping well, and I spoke to DMP. Shall we send the book for printing? He said it will be difficult for us. You get it printed and then submit the bill, he said. But how to go about, request our vice chancellor to give guidelines in this regard.
DMP
అంతకుముందు DMP లిఖిత ప్రింటర్స్ కి ఇచ్చింది సార్. ఇప్పుడు రిజిస్టర్ సేస్ కర్షక్ తొందరగా ఇస్తారు మీకు, బట్ మేము ఇవ్వడం కన్నా DMPకి రాసి వాళ్ళు ఇనబిలిటీ ఎక్స్ప్రెస్ చేసి యూ గో హెడ్ అనే గైడ్ లైన్స్ ఉంటేనే
సేమ్ ఎవరైతే పబ్లిష్ చేస్తారో వాళ్ళకి పంపడం
లిఖిత
వాళ్ళకి పంపడం బెటర్, ఎందుకంటే సేమ్ ఫార్మాట్ కూడా వాళ్ళ దగ్గర
ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ
సేమ్ ఫాంట్ కానీ
ఇంకా లేట్ అవుతుంది వాళ్ళకి.
అవసరం అనుకుంటే మనం ఎవరో చెప్తారు, ఎంత టైం కావాలో ఆ టైంలో తెప్పించుకుంటే.
Sending the soft copy, it should not take long.
అసలే సార్
CRC నే కదా.
Then why should you take it? You're sending the CRC.
వీళ్ళ దగ్గర అయితే దీన్ని కొత్తగా చేసుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు, మీరు రెఫరెన్స్ పంపిస్తారు ఆల్రెడీ ఉంటుంది, కలర్స్ మార్చుకుంటారు, వాల్యూమ్స్ నంబర్స్ లోపల ఇన్నర్ పేజెస్ మార్చుకుంటారు.
బ్లూ ఉంటుంది, ఈ yellow ప్లేస్ లో ఇంకొక కలర్, అదొకటి DMP మరి కొంచెం చెప్తే అక్కడ కన్సర్న్ పర్సన్ ఇస్ నాట్ దే. ప్రింటింగ్ చూస్తే
డైరెక్ట్ పబ్లిష్ చేసుకుంటే DMPకి బిల్ పెడితే DMP పే చేసుకుంటారు, ప్రాబ్లం.
తక్కువ చేసింది సార్, ఓన్లీ 100. మన దగ్గర ఇప్పుడు 20 ఉన్నాయి. ఎందుకంటే
మనకి ఇంటర్నల్ సర్క్యులేషన్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్ సార్, ఐఎస్ఎస్ఎన్ వచ్చిన
తర్వాత
ఎలాగో దాంట్లో పెడతారు కదా వెబ్సైట్ లో,
పెడతాం
మొత్తం జర్నల్.
ఇది కూడా పెట్టాలి,
సాఫ్ట్ కాపీ కూడా
పెట్టండి.
మానస్ ఉన్నట్టు నడికేమన్నా
Manas, please suggest us in any other thing, the format and.
Thank you very much. With regard to the, I agree with Professor Ghanta Chakrapani. Actually, format need to be fixed, number one. Number two is number of pages. Number of pages of the journal need to be fixed, but because that will maintain our quality. And the minimum number of the pages as well as maximum number of the pages is required, because we need to cap some gap also. Sometimes maybe 4 or 5 pages will be increased, how we will manage. And at the same time, you are planning for online version as well as print version. In the case of print version, sometimes printer will let us know what is the exact number, even numbers they will take. So whenever number we will finalize, the even numbers need to be taken care. If we need to also decide if 2 pages goes blank, so what we should give in that, what matter should go in that blank pages, and how to manage. Because while we will go for the page layout and design, If it is, for example, if I will say 15 pages, it is not possible. It should be 18 pages. So when I have matter only 15 pages, at that moment, sir, if we another 2 pages or 3 pages, how we will manage? What matter should go in that 3 pages? And how we will manage these 3 pages particularly? I have some suggestions in this regard as well. We can also time to time give BRAOU's publications. If BRAOU come out with that 3 months and 6 month or 1 year publications, number of publication, that 1 page we can give as filler, and or 2 page we can give as filler. And if we are approaching to admission cycle, that time we BRAOU can also give what are the courses they are offering, that also can go as a filler. And if you are having certain important events conducted in that 3 months or 4 months or 6 months, so that events can also given as a filler. So while we were encounter this kind of number of pages has become blank, that time this kind of filler we can plan appropriately giving them, because we are concerning to the print version. If it is online version, there is no issue at all. So that's why in the case of print version, and same version goes as online level as well. So this is my submission with regard to the and if you are going for the online version as well, so certain things need to be taken care. Particularly while we are giving online version, subscription button should be there, so that you can able to know how many readers or the stakeholders subscribing your journal, number 1. Number 2, no doubt you will get the number of visitors, number of person downloaded your each and every article, how many articles, which article has been downloaded, how many articles downloaded by one reader. All this data you will get from your online version. There is no issue at all. But in the case of only that, if you will make it subscription tag in your online version, so that whenever you will publish, immediately message will goes to the subscriber, so that they can aware that okay, journal has been published by BRAOU. So then they can back to the site and see the journal and read the journal, and it could be helpful for them. So these are the few operational suggestions I have. And time to time, of course, we can go further to see the feedback from the authors, those who are already submitted their papers and published their papers. And time to time also we can take the feedback from the readers as well, those who are approaching to your journal. And third one is most important for me. I always believe in that. For example, 5 issues you published. After that, can editor-in-chief take a proactive that review of these articles? Review of all these articles of 5 issues or 7 issues, after 7 issues, significantly issues, when you realize that okay, this area we got this number of articles, what is the nature of these articles, so whether it is qualitative research articles or quantitative research article, or it is mixed research article, any innovative methodology has been used in the article. So this can be combination of the articles review, and that review article need to be published in your subsequent issue of the journal. So that also need to understand in our level, so that fix that period also. Okay, 5 issues, each 5 issues we can have a review article of our all articles has been published in these 5 issues. So these are few of my suggestions. If you
thank you so much, Manas, for giving several inputs right from format to the review of the articles published in the previous issues. So this will be again a very new thought, and this can be taken up by the center. And hope we have covered all the aspects. And Dr. Srinivas is yet to join, but he is in some other meeting, it seems. I tried to call him up, but he's not responding. Yeah. And
inauguration.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. Any other suggestions?
Good and all this.
Madam, language panel.
I'm not particularly in favor of putting dated advertisements of events, because I think the journal will probably lose it becomes like a newsletter more than a journal, an academic journal. However, I appreciate what you have said about reviewing the articles which are already there. Maybe that could come in something called a special issue or something like that. Or thematic, journals, thematic issues that can be brought out. That will be a good idea. Apart from that, I think language, yes, I insist that language correction be done, and somebody be on a committee, or a member of the group somebody can be invited to do the language editing. I think perhaps before the content editing, yes. or as Professor Chakrapani said. But I'm also a little wary of doing it before, because and maybe after also, yes. Because I had seen that while we were doing the language editing of courses, yes. that we were bringing out in our university,
twice.
Yes, it needed to be done again, because the first in the first correction, if you end up changing the content, the discipline-based faculty members would protest. They would say you have misinterpreted what I had said. So in such a case, I think another reading needs to be done later on, because the content expert will probably review the material again and change back to what it was earlier, saying my idea has not been conveyed correctly. In that case, another reading will have to be given. So I insist that needs to be done. Right. It's not so much proofreading as it is reading to see whether the idea has come across clearly or not.
Yeah.
Sometimes that also, Professor Chakrapani, Director Academic, mentioned it just now. He said there is a style which you follow in spoken English, which is not followed in written English, or something which needs to go into a research article that may not be, it may not be suitable to simply put a lecture into the written form. Sometimes it may not be possible. But if it is an invited lecture, then I think certainly that has its value. And it will have a place in the research journals.
With a little bit changes, we can.
Yes, with a few changes, we can. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. And regarding the citation also.
Yeah. Madam Deputy, one suggestion to editorial board is, that's of course, you please engage right language editors. I think we can take panel from Pushparam on payment basis and the charge also. Don't just blindly believe and rely on our own internal language experts, language team. And they're also otherwise busy.
Yeah, they will be busy with
they'll be busy with their and they may not have the domain kind of knowledge also. And editing is altogether a different art. So better to depend on professional editorial team. Okay, that's one suggestion.
Yeah, that is really try to incorporate. And citations part also, I'm afraid it's not properly taken care in this journals or articles in the first and second issue, both issues. Empirical and the feedback studies, okay, but other articles, the citations, we need to strictly follow the citations formats, and that also will insist on the contributors in the next issue. So 2 issues are ready now, sir. There won't be any problem in the third issue, issuing the ISSN number. We'll follow all the procedures and then approach. But from GRCRD, one request to our Vice Chancellor, sir, and rest of the functionaries in the university. It's very difficult to run with the 2 journals. One is JODL and the second is multidisciplinary. with only 2 of us functioning in the GRCRD because it's need to be equipped. There is a provision in the UGC guidelines also for a retired professor, one retired professor, and then one more research associate. Sir, please. This I have been putting up letters. I've been putting up this request because research associate and senior retired professor is required because several activities. Okay. However, we need that for next issue. We need to work right now. Okay. And research proposals also collaborative research with the ICSSR. Few proposals have been received by faculty members. We have forwarded the same.
I was little embarrassed. I never
Manasji.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Manasji. And we have reached to the last phase where we have several things have been discussed. I'm very thankful to the editorial board for really giving us a roadmap for going about because with our few enthusiasm and all, we could take this to this level with the help of editor-in-chief and our members. So the kind of formatting, right from formatting to the what to put in the what are the contents, the empirical and feedback, invited lectures and articles, research articles from our faculty members, and more emphasis on field studies and how to go about in the review process also with research articles. Based on the proper citations, containing proper citations, and all this feedback is highly useful for us. And more importantly, stress on language editing. One before going for content change, and then after the completion of the article. So this suggestion is going to help us a lot, and emphasizing on innovative methodologies. Reviews and the thematic issue. One issue on biennial. So every year or by 2 years, we can go for the thematic focusing on one particular theme. So with all these suggestions, I thank all the members of the editorial board, online and offline. Particularly Manasji for being with us throughout and making the suggestions on this. Thank our Vice Chancellor for guiding us probably in this regard. And but for him, this would not have been done because we were particular to bring this so that in the next issue we'll bring an ISSN issue. And we need the cooperation from the university. And more importantly, our Director Academic, Professor Ganda Chakrapani, for his valuable suggestions on several aspects of the printing part and then helping us and then look forward to his guidance in the future too. And Editor-in-Chief, Murali Manohar sir, is almost a part of our Ambedkar Open University and very patiently he's guiding us with a smile and giving us the directions how to go about. And thank you so much, sir, for your highly expertise in running a journal and the few suggestions which you have made will definitely carry forward and incorporate in our coming issue. And we'll overcome the lacuna which we have done and definitely we'll incorporate all the suggestions in coming issue. And from our team, JRCRD, and we thank immensely Professor Ramakrishna Madam. She is every time when we give one, I'm sorry, Madam, we could not give the hard copy to Ma'am prior and well in advance. So our team is so enthusiastic in correcting the changes, so they lost the track of the time. So that's the reason we could not provide the hard copy. And now please go through it once again. 1 or 2 days, we'll wind up this and with little changes, whatever we could make. Thank you, Lakshmi and Ravindra Solomon, for your inputs in this as a part of the editorial board. And I thank Durga for taking the major role in this. And her queries time and again are we worked as a team, and our secretarial staff also for making this meeting happen. And thank the computer section people for the online Zoom meeting facilities. And thank you so much if I missed someone. Thank you all for your presence. Manasi, thank you so much. You are traveling, it seems. You said that you are traveling, but you spent time for us and being with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Sitaram Garu. Thank you. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right,